Should the Chicago Bears trade D'Onta Foreman to the Cleveland Browns? My name's Harrison Graham. You're watching Bears Now by Chat Sports. This isn't being reported right now, but I do think it's an interesting idea from both sides of the spectrum, and I'll explain that here. Of course, Nick Chubb had a nasty season-ending injury on Monday Night Football. We hope for the best for him in his recovery, as he is a special player, as that was definitely a gruesome injury. But Cleveland's looking for running back help. Kareem Hunt's visiting today. That seems like a natural guy to bring back, as he's been in their system for the last few years. But even if they do bring him back, or if they decide not to, they're going to probably look at some other options as well. And I think Foreman's an intriguing one. You look at the player 2 comp here for these two guys last year, Nick Chubb and D'Onta Foreman. Obviously, Chubb was the full-time starting running back in Cleveland, which is why he had almost 100 carries, more than Foreman. But once Christian McCaffrey got traded, Foreman was the workhorse in Carolina, and that's why I was so excited about bringing him to Chicago. 4.5 yards per carry, rushed for almost 900 yards. Had he been the starter all year, he probably would have been a 1,200-yard guy in Carolina. Now, am I here to say that D'Onta Foreman is a plug-and-play equivalent to Nick Chubb? No. But what I am here to say, and why I do think it could make some sense, is he's a physical downhill runner, which is similar to Nick Chubb's playing style. He's built to break tackles. He's just good enough as a pass catcher, just like Chubb. Chubb's not great in that area, but he's just good enough. So the skill sets are similar. And Khalil Herbert and Roschon Johnson are your top 2 running backs right now in Chicago. D'Onta Foreman was a healthy scratch in week 2. And not because he's not a good player, but I think the Bears want to continue to get Roschon more involved. Khalil Herbert's a player that's going to continue to get touches in this rotation, and they need Travis Homer for special teams. So Foreman could be more beneficial in Cleveland, to be frank, which is weird to say because the Browns are in a better position right now than the Bears are. But running back specifically, they're thin there. The Bears are deeper there. So I think it could be a win-win for both sides. I'm not expecting Chicago to get something huge in return, but even if it's just a 7th-round pick or a 6th-round pick, you brought him in on a 1-year deal. I think that's pretty decent for Chicago, a team that could look to replenish some draft capital as they get to the offseason. Obviously, we're not punting on the season, but I don't think trading D'Onta Foreman is punting on the year. You've got Khalil Herbert, Roschon Johnson. You've got Travis Homer. You don't necessarily need D'Onta Foreman. Browns don't need him, but they could certainly use him, and I think his skill set fits what they like to do. Would you trade D'Onta Foreman to the Cleveland Browns? Type T for trade or K for keep. If I was offered any draft pick, I would trade him. He's on a 1-year deal. It's not like you're banking on him to be a key part of the future. So I'm typing my T for trade. What say you? Let us know in the comments section. Go to our next story here. Justin Fields, does he want out of Chicago? Stephen A. Smith on First Take said that Fields looks like a player who does not want to be in the Windy City. Here's what Stephen A. had to say. He said, I'm going to tell you what I see in Justin Fields. I see somebody that's not being developed. I see somebody that's not growing. And more importantly, I see apathy kicking in, if not despondency. He knows what kind of situation he's in. He doesn't want to be there, and I don't blame him one bit. That's how I feel. I don't know that. I haven't heard that, but I'm surmising that he doesn't want to be there. So I will give Stephen A. credit. He's not reporting that Fields doesn't want to be there. That's just what he sees watching the games, the body language, etc. I got a lot of reaction to what Stephen A. Smith said about Justin Fields and where things currently stand with the Bears quarterback. But first, a word from our sponsor. All right, guys, I'm excited to tell you about our brand new sponsor here on the channel, and that is Waterboy. Waterboy is a hydration powder scientifically formulated to cut your hangover time in half. There are other hydration packs on the market, but nothing comes anywhere close to fighting those Sunday scaries like Waterboy does. With 0 sugar and over 3 times the electrolytes of Liquid IV, your hangover will stand no chance. Unlike their competitors, Waterboy has added ingredients beyond just hydration to help with nausea, anxiety, and fatigue. We all know that hydration alone isn't enough help after that bender you may have had in Vegas. For a limited time, our listeners will get 15% off when you use the code CHATSPORTS at waterboy.com/chatsports. You see, it comes in these nice little sticks, if you will, these little packs that are easy to travel with if you're on the road. Maybe you're going to Vegas on a bender and you're going to bet on the Bears and things don't go well. You have a bunch of drinks. Well, Waterboy comes in handy. Very, very easy to use. Most hydration powders are packed so full of sugar that cause you to crash even harder. Not to mention, you have to drink so many of them to get the electrolyte replenishment that your body really needs to recover. Waterboy, however, has over 9 times the electrolytes as a Gatorade. Think about that. Hundreds of thousands of people already trust Waterboy as their hangover cure. It's time to stop dealing with that anxiety alone. For a limited time, our listeners, our viewers here at Bears Now can get 15% off at waterboy.com/chatsports. That's waterboy.com/chatsports. Use the code chatsports to get 15% off. Listen, Waterboy is saving me every Monday morning after I got to watch this Bears team. It's waterboy.com/chatsports. Link in the comments and in the description. Promo code chatsports. I do want to respond to what Stephen A. Smith said, and I actually do agree with a lot of what he said. It doesn't look like he's being developed. It doesn't look like he's improving, and I do kind of see some of that apathy at times. Like, he just looks like, it's not that, I think he does care. He's just a very calm guy, but I think sometimes late in these games, he's like, oh man, just another long day at the office. And I will challenge Stephen A. here, though, and he admitted he's not reporting this. This is just his interpretation of him not wanting to be here. Could Justin Fields have thoughts at night sometimes like, man, what if another team drafted me? What could that be like? Sure. But I don't think he's just trying to get out of Chicago, because if he went to the Bears and was like, I don't want to be here anymore, how many teams could he go start for right now? Really? Like, any? Maybe a couple? So I think he knows and, A, wants to make it work here, and B, knows that he needs to make it work here, because if not, he may not be a starter somewhere else. That is the bottom line. Here's what I think. I see a QB that's not trusting himself when I watch the film. I watched JT O'Sullivan's film breakdown again this week, QB School, go check it out. That's what I see, a lot of lack of trust in himself. I definitely don't think he trusts Luke Getsy in his play calling. And I just see a quarterback who's lacking confidence, and that was never a concern of mine with him. Like, him coming out, he played with that swagger. He played with that confidence. He just let the ball rip, and you see the flashes of it. So we saw the flashes of it this week, but it's not nearly often enough. And I don't even mean flashes of good play. I just mean flashes of just let it go, kid, and live with the result. That doesn't mean you have to be a YOLO quarterback, but you see it, you rip it. I mean, that's the bottom line, and something has happened here. I can't explain it. I don't know if he's been overcoached. I don't know if he just doesn't believe in himself anymore. I don't know if defenses have figured some things out, and now he's just, to quote Sam Darnold, seeing ghosts. I don't know. Something has happened. I don't think he trusts the protection. The drop back is very slow. I thought that was something JT pointed out last week, and I was like, God, that's a really good point. Like, he is so slow on his drop back. And I'm going to have more on that specifically on my Twitter page at HGramNFL and on a future video. Like, why are things so slow? What's going on with the footwork? Interesting stuff to come up, so keep an eye on that. He's hesitant in the pocket. Some throws are fluttering out of his hand. Like, there's a couple balls where it's a clean pocket, he fires. It's not a spiral. Like, this was a guy coming out like RPM's very tight spiral. The kid could flat out spin it, and he still can, but like, I think the footwork is so choppy, it's leading to like end over end throws sometimes. It's like, this is not the Justin Fields I know as a passer. Like, I know he's got to prove a lot more with the decision making and just the processing, but even the ball's coming out funky now. Like, it just doesn't make sense. And I think the last part of it that I definitely am seeing is the Bears seem to be asking him to live in the pocket. They're not running design runs. They're not getting him on the edge very much. So it's all very, very strange, and it's all stuff that really needs to change very, very quickly. So what say you? Be honest with me. At this exact moment, what is your answer to this question? Is Justin Fields the long-term answer in Chicago? Type Y for yes, type in for no. Type H for hope so. That's probably where I'm at. I can't say confidently at this point that he is. I hope he is. We got 15 more games to evaluate this year, but I'd say at this point you got 2 games in the negative box, if you will, versus the positive box in terms of evaluation for 2023. Appreciate all of our new subscribers that we've picked up as of late. We're trying to get to 73,000 as soon as possible. If you want daily videos here on the Chicago Bears, the latest news, the latest rumors, injury updates, breakdowns of what I'm seeing, some in-game analysis, we've got you covered. YouTube.com/BearsNow. Hit the sub button. It's free. Tell a friend. We appreciate you and everybody else's support as well. Okay, is Chase Claypool turning a corner? Well, yes and no. He certainly had a bad penalty late in that game on the second of 3 straight screen calls by Luke Getsy. But I do think there were some better things, and the overall play was better. Now, this report from Jay Glazer on Fox right before kickoff on Sunday was obviously very interesting. They, talking about the Bears, Poles, Flus, etc., were not happy with his effort last week. You see him missing blocking assignments. It was really bad. After the game, so much so, he went upstairs and apologized to GM Ryan Poles, apologized to the head coach, other coaches, other players as well. They expect him to have his normal role, but they have put him on notice. If you quote, if you have this kind of effort again, then you will be deactivated and possibly even shipped out of town again. So the Bears put him on notice. And look, to his credit, he did some good things. Caught 3 passes, 36 yards, had a nice touchdown catch. While the blocking still wasn't technically sound, the effort was much better. He definitely gave everything he had. I mean, even on that moronic penalty where he's blocking downfield before the screen is thrown, wasn't an effort problem. It's just like an IQ problem now. Is that bad coaching? Because the timing's just way off. You have to wait until the screen is thrown before you can block downfield. Look, the bar is low because he's made it low, but it was better. It's a step in the right direction. Can he build on it? Can he be more productive as a receiver? Can he make less mistakes this week? I hope so. Because you traded a lot for him, and I don't know if you're ever going to get full return in what you traded for him, but you at least get a serviceable player out of this guy. I mean, that would just go a long, long way. And let's be honest, this offense, this quarterback needs every little piece of help it can get right now. So hopefully Chase Claypool has found a little something here and can be a contributor moving forward. All right, guys, appreciate everybody for tuning in. Again, follow me on Twitter. I've been tweeting out some clips, some different Bears news and notes a lot as of late. So if you want to stay up to date in real time as well with what's going on, not only subscribe to the channel, but follow us on Twitter at HGramNFL. Appreciate all the support. We'll see you soon.